So the Good Samaritan Protocol, which used to be called the Good Samaritan Policy, is a component of our alcohol and other drug policy. Quite frankly, what it means is if a student calls for medical assistance because they are concerned for themselves or another person's health or well-being because of alcohol or other drugs, they will not go through the conduct process in a traditional sense. That means there won't be an official charge letter and there won't be formal responses, including probation or something like that. If a student feels that they've had too much to drink, they could call public safety or text public safety to say that they need assistance. Rita may come, or Henrietta EMTs may show up, and the student could receive assistance. Whether or not the student gets transported to the hospital doesn't matter. It's the fact that they called for help. So if a student calls for themselves, if a student calls for a friend, or if a student calls for someone that they don't even know, which happens sometimes, you might just be walking down the street and see a student who's stumbling and you're concerned about them. If you call for help, those students are now qualified for the Good Samaritan Protocol. So a good example I think that some people ask are, well, what if I call for someone else and I'm the caller and I'm intoxicated and I'm 18, but my friend really needs help. I'm scared to call because I don't want to get in trouble and I don't want my friend to get in trouble. Good Samaritan Protocol is an umbrella for both of us. So it's not just the person who needs medical assistance, but it also helps the student who called because I did the right thing by calling. We really want to get across to students that their health is more important than us finding them responsible for violating a policy. So some important things to know is that public safety does not determine if it's Good Samaritan or not. That's our office that determines it. So call public safety or text them to get the help, but let them do their jobs in that moment. Don't ask them, is this Good Samaritan? Can this be Good Samaritan? They don't determine that. They'll just write up what they know, and we will determine if it's Good Samaritan. If it falls under Good Samaritan, a student will still receive an email from us to say, hey, we received this public safety report. We think this falls under a Good Samaritan protocol. We need you to come in for a meeting. So it won't be a hearing, but we'll still meet with the student and we'll still require them to have some sort of educational component to it. We want them to learn from this experience. So it may be a meeting with an alcohol educator or something similar, but we still want them to learn. That doesn't mean it's going to be a formal hearing in any way. And that also helps if they do the right thing by calling and get medical attention. They go through this educational process, hopefully learn something, and then we're not reporting that out to outside agencies after they graduate because it's not part of our formal process. So again, doing the right thing and being concerned about health instead of getting someone in trouble is part of that Good Samaritan protocol. The old policy says that you could only use Good Samaritan once. So if I've used it already, but now I'm really sick and I want to call for public safety and I'm too concerned that I'm going to get in trouble, I may not call public safety when I really need it because I really need that medical assistance. We remove that one time only. We don't think students will abuse it, but we'll be able to review every report, and if we think a student is having some sort of issue that they keep getting into the same or similar situations, we're going to address that from a point of concern. And sometimes students also realize that it's a concerning issue and may take action themselves to get some support. Something else that we changed with the Good Samaritan protocol this year too, to be more beneficial to students and really to expand it for them to feel comfortable using it, is not to just have the Good Samaritan protocol apply for alcohol incidents, but also other drugs. So if a student is trying an illegal drug and they have a reaction to it and they need medical assistance, we want them to get in touch with public safety in order to get that medical assistance. So we have brought in the Good Samaritan protocol, and we hope that students utilize it for any substance that they are on if they think themselves or a friend needs medical attention. If a student goes to their RA to say, I'm really intoxicated, I'm not feeling well, the RA will then contact public safety, and that counts as Good Samaritan. If a student is passed out in the bathroom because they've been using alcohol or another drug, and an RA finds them, that's an RA doing their job. It's not the student being proactive saying, I need help. So that wouldn't be Good Samaritan. And I think that's the distinction. We want students to be proactive, to not hesitate to call or to get help from their RA or public safety.